Okay, so first off, John Cena is not going to turn babyface. This is going to be serious. This is going to be full-time. He said it in the past in interviews that he's built up too much equity over time to like cheapen it by turning back in 6 months. This is going to be the best thing going. He's going to win the title at Mania. He's going to be the ultimate heel. And he's going to need a heater. Imagine these two together, like thugging it out. And then like the true family, the underboss, coming out to a Travis Scott tune with John Cena rapping on it. And like Roman's part of the family. And of course, Travis Scott's real best friend.
Are you kidding?
That's right, Jey Uso. I know he's the #1 merch seller, but can't go on forever. And this thing could go on past like years. John Cena could stay longer, but even the building up of the family, imagine how huge it would be if Jey suddenly turned. I know that sounds insane, but think about it.
Think about it.
And then Cody having like bent the knee and apologized to Kevin and Drew, and you guys were right the whole time. And of course, this bridges the gap between Seth and Punk because everybody's fighting the final boss and the big bad enemy of this new bloodline. And then Punk cashing in his favor, maybe even like 2 years from now, and it's Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, part of the, you're going to be my wise men now, the new Avengers. You're going to be our Professor X of our X-Men. I mean, it could be huge. The multiverse of possibilities that could go moving forward, knowing that WWE is willing to do anything in the new age is awesome. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
How do you like it? I'm a novice at this. I make a few mistakes.
Jushin Thunder Liger.
I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about what happened at Elimination Chamber this last weekend. The whole world is talking about this. The most unexpected thing ever. And that is Jade Cargill returning for revenge while wearing a bikini and thigh-high boots. Because I know that's how I stalk my enemies, right? This isn't no solo Sokoa action. She's not coming in a hoodie or nothing. Like, I live in Toronto. It was bloody -8 on the Elimination Chamber day. Like, we actually are not as cold in Canada as people constantly think. But we do get those New York winter weeks where, like, it was bloody cold that week. Everybody was talking about, holy moly, hasn't been this cold in a while. And it went down to, like, -13 at one point. But I think the coldest day of the week, after a previous snowstorm like the week before, where it wasn't that cold, but it just snowed so much. I haven't seen this much snow in like 15 years. It's like snow, snow, snow. And then the week after without the snow, just the temperature just dropped like crazy. So it was -8, if I recall, the night of the Elimination Chamber. I don't know, Jade Cargill either got out of Pearson Airport. She either arrived dressed like this, or she came from Pearson to the Rogers Center like dressed in a shiny pleather bikini and thigh-high boots, or she snuck in dressed like a normal human being. Somehow snuck in the building, but she's telling her entourage, her guy, she's like, listen, if I'm gonna go get revenge, I need a place to get changed first. Of course, sneaking around in the bowels of the building. I can't go out dressed like this. So I gotta give it to Jade Cargill, the most stealthful Amazonian woman in the entire world, who has made her way here from Pearson Airport to the Rogers Center. Nobody noticed her come in the building, find a place to get changed into her superhero pleather bikini and like thigh-high boots, make her way to Gorilla, hit my music. Who said that? Jade. I hit her music. Jade? I haven't seen her in months. What's she doing here? Well, she just walked past me and said, hit my music, like she thought she was freaking Jacob Fatu or something. So I just did as I was told, Mr. Levesque. Well, where is she now? Walking down to ringside. Oh my God. Who, did nobody see her? Like, oh no, she's like a ninja. She freaking made her way in here, got changed in her bikini and thigh highs, and now she's superhero walking down to the ring. And everybody, of course, deer in the headlights, when the music hits, everybody stops. Even the guys closing the door. You know, oh, the bell is rung, Jim. Oh yeah, Tim? Yeah, should we close the door? Sure, Tim. Sure, Jim. Let's do it together. Slowly close the door. Oh wow, music hit? I gotta stop closing the door and look over. Just like Liv, and just like Naomi, and just like every wrestler in the world. Like Kevin Owens losing the Universal title. Everybody, every wrestler, referee in the world. It's like they're all trained to when somebody's music hits, just stop what you're doing. It's like a bear attack. Just freeze. Just play dead. And like they'll sniff you a little bit or whatever. You'll be fine. But of course, so that's what happened there. Now the best part is, if you take a look at the attack on Naomi, we all know it ended with the cage door slamming her in the head. And you can see on the footage, they have like a metal bar or like some kind of a large piece of metal wire like stopping the door from closing. And so it appears that they were feigning taking a long time to close the door at the beginning. You know, bell rings, the girls are facing each other, and they're like closing the door as if like, well, the match has started, I guess we better close the door. And they're slowly closing, and Jade's music hits, and they're shocked. They're like, oh no. So they stop closing the door because just like a referee and every wrestler, somebody's music plays, everything stops, and you immediately become a moron, like a useless automaton. Duh, I can't move. So everybody's staring, even the guys closing the door. And notice how Jade, as she approaches, they feign like they're closing it more. And they only get it closed to the point that it would close for Naomi's head smash. They have a barrier there. They have something in place. You can see it when they have the overhead shot of her getting hit. So this is why the door was open. So as a wrestling fan, I can suspend reality. I know why these things are happening. And I'm supposed to suspend my belief for all of it. Like, nobody's spoken to Jade in any fashion since she's got injured. Not a word of like, I think it was Naomi, Bianca, that attacked me. Like, what are you talking about, girl? Like, they haven't spoken a word. Yet she's, of course, apoplectic. She's so upset that her best friend's being attacked by her other best friend, even though none of them talk about this at all since she was severely maimed and injured on the work site. Was it the NXT parking lot? It was probably the NXT parking lot, because that's the problem. Jade should have known better than to like go over to Full Sail, because it's dangerous over there, right? You're walking through there by yourself, you know, a little late at night, bam, somebody's taking you out with a tire iron.
What's with the lead pipe? Are you gonna get my noggin a flogging?
Well, yeah.
But in the same breath that I am shitting on Jade Cargill here as a joke and whatnot, the whole, I mean, everybody did great in this match. This was without a doubt the hardest hitting and best women's elimination chamber match to date, period. I'll put my reputation on it. Liv Morgan has won me over so much over the last year. Like, she is awesome in every single way. Her facials, her body movements, her selling. This was an absolutely fabulous chamber. Now, moving on to the fact that people mentioned that it could be Bianca and Rhea, or Liv and Rhea, or whoever won versus Rhea. Dude.
You are made of stupid.
Anybody who thought that Rhea was coming out with the title after her match against Io Sky on Monday was crazy. I almost wish I made a video before this, because right away I was like, well, are you not a wrestling fan? Do you not know how important Elimination Chamber is to the road to WrestleMania? How many times they've switched titles, done crazy stuff at this event to set up something for Mania? Like, if you couldn't smell the fact that they were putting this over as the night after Chamber, this match, this big match, like, there's no way she was gonna lose. Of course Io Sky was going to win the title. What was the point of putting it over? They wouldn't have had her come out and do the stare down between Bianca and Rhea if she wasn't going to win the title. Like, obviously this was going to happen. Now they're going to put Rhea in some other direction, or maybe she's injured in some fashion. I hear she actually might have injured her hand here, but it was very obvious that Io was going to win this match, and that it was going to be whoever won the chamber against Io, and the big throw a swerve at people, the obvious swerve. So if you, I don't know what kind of wrestling fan you are if you couldn't see that. But speaking of not being a smart wrestling fan, like all us smarks out here and all us internet guys with our podcasts who all think we're so smart. But anybody out there who doesn't think that John Cena is going to stay heel, you're crazy. All these people think there's going to be some sort of redemption arc. Okay, John Cena turned heel. He's staying heel, folks. Like, that's what's happening. There was an interview, might have been with Van Vliet. He talked about the possibility of them turning him when his initial feud with The Rock, and that McMahon was talking to him about it. And their main crux of the decision, if they were going to go with it, was that he couldn't just turn back quickly. This had to be a long heel run. They'd built up so much equity and goodwill over time that they couldn't just like wishy-wash go back and forth. This is going to be a long-term thing. John Cena is Hollywood. He's Hollywood Cena. You got to think, he sold out years ago. And so if Cody had said, you know what, Rock, I'll give you my soul, then John Cena would have kept playing his role as the good guy, gone to WrestleMania and lost, and shook Cody's hand and put Cody over, because it's all Hollywood. It's all fake. So when he said, go F yourself, Rock, Cena, he'd sold out long ago. It's all been a facade, the smiley nonsense, all of it. And he's going to make a ton of money as a heel. He's going to sell a ton of merch as a heel, so this whole merch thing doesn't matter. I understand that they didn't want to have the kids lose their mind years ago when John Cena turned, but now there's adults ironically wearing the full Cena getup in the audience because they're now grown adult John Cena fans. They're all going to be just fine. and they're going to make a ton of money on merch. John Cena is going to be the ultimate heel, the Hollywood Balds, instead of the Hollywood Blondes, one of the guys was calling them. Like, this is a great tag team, and Cena's going to be an amazing heel. And when he finally comes out, his new theme music, supposedly they had theme music for him that he made for what was going to be his turn, and I bet you that's going to be a killer, like, hip-hop song, but some people are saying he's going to debut that music. I don't think so. This is a Travis Scott jam, baby. Travis Scott and John Cena bringing you the hard heel Cena track. It's coming. It's going to be awesome. And Cena's probably going to be like the thumbnail I got here. It's probably going to be just like his regular getup, but more dark. Yeah, I can't see him coming out in a suit all the time or wrestling. Even if he comes out in a suit, he's not going to wrestle in a suit. So what's going to be his ring gear? I'm thinking it should be something along these lines, personally. But bro, I love Travis Scott in there. It's too bad that he broke Cody's eardrum. And like, could have been, you know, and like, orbital socket kind of stuff. That is all too bad. But him being in there was the best part. I love celebrity interaction. He was too cool for school the whole time, didn't give a shit. And supposedly he told The Rock backstage, or he told The Rock, I want to, you know, get my hands dirty or get my hands bloody. And he's, you know, The Rock said, hey, you know, better make it count. And I'm sure that Cody probably said, lay it in. Thankfully it wasn't worse. And yeah, all kinds of people are going to criticize. You shouldn't have untrained people in there and this and that. But you know, supposedly he's training to be a wrestler. He's one of the most famous people in the world, hugely followed. WWE and UFC, they love their celebrities. They love this kind of interaction. But this entire segment got, you know, a couple million more views than even the iShow Speed segment from Royal Rumble. And that got like a ton of traction. I think that was like 33. This is closer to 50. So, hey man, I'm down with the whole thing. This was absolutely awesome. But speaking of Travis Scott, I'm going to throw out something really weird there for everybody. Who did he last come down to the ring with? Jey Uso. And what faction is Jey Uso technically a part of? The Bloodline. And if we are in a world where expect the unexpected, try and swerve the marks, try and lie to the dirt sheets, try and get the biggest emotional reaction you can, with the exception of the fact that he's the top merch seller and Yeet's going good, you know, if they're smart enough to know when to kill it before it gets old. I mean, Bullet Club is still going in New Japan. I mean, yes, they still sell NWO shirts to this day, but NWO itself went on way too long. I mean, nobody knows when to kill something, right?
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
You know, imagine McMahon retired 25 years ago. So yeah, stay around long enough. You live long enough to watch yourself become the villain. And that's basically what has happened with many a faction in the past. So if they're smart enough to kill the Jey Uso run, babyface run fast enough, I mean, like I was saying, John Cena sold out a long time ago. They've all sold out a long time ago. I could go back and find references where Jey Uso could, you know, be shown to have been bought off, you know, in the same way that we can look at all of what happened with John Cena recently, you know, saying, hey, I think I deserve it. What's best for business is me in the Elimination Chamber. I'm calling my shot, you know, and CM Punk kind of being like, but, you know, okay, I guess it's John Cena. All right, I guess you can do that.
I thought what you did in the past secured your future.
John Cena, greatest heel turn of all time. Travis Scott. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's also awesome. All this is going to be awesome, and the track they drop is going to be awesome, and heel Cena long-term is going to be awesome, even if he is only around for a year. Like, this is, you know, I think we're going into all new territory, and the idea of turning him back face right away is just, it's completely insane. It's not going to happen. He's going to be the best heel around. This is going to be awesome.
The joke's on you. I'm going to see you down the road.
And yeah, I think maybe, bro, anybody who's like, you're crazy, that could never happen. Of course it could happen. Jey in this faction, or Jey turning, Jey being part of it all, even Roman being part of it, like all of them being part of it. You know, like I did a video a while ago, Cody Rhodes, you can't bury Cody. And it was the last line of defense was like Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre, and being like, you know, you guys are right. I'm like, I know, yes, we were right the whole time. Like the surly fucking assholes of WWE for like the last year, Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre end up rising up alongside Cody as the shining knights and the triumphant baby faces against like everybody who's turned bad. And maybe like CM Punk and even Heyman. Maybe Punk's favor is that Heyman leaves the bloodline. Like, come be my wise man. That's my favor. Leave these people. Like, dude, there is a lot of meat on this bone. And if you've listened to this far, then I thank you. We'll have to start the whole video with that last little bit there because that's some of the best part. But maybe we'll redo a video like this very soon because this kind of came out of left field. But might be coming at you with a full-blown podcast soon instead of these little videos. So let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, give me a comment. Tell me you think I'm crazy. Please interact. All right, we'll see you next time. We'll be back soon.
We're going to do it. And in 48 hours, I had a new track, a new studio mix, theme song, final mix. I had 7 new singlets, low-cut singlets with boxing-type robes. I already had the boots in storage, so I dusted them off. Like I was ready to go. And already thinking about like what I could do with the story. Okay, what is a heel? A heel is not just new gear. The objectivity or the message behind the singlet and the boxing robes and the boots is its exact opposite of what you saw with the street gear. The jean shorts, the t-shirt, the ball cap, the sneakers. No, go the opposite route. And now lean into the opposite of everything you stand for. So I would begin to not work as hard. I would show up less. I would be untrustworthy, unloyal. I would lack respect in what I did. Like all you have to do is turn that on its... I would give up a lot. All those things you can take and make interesting stories. And this is the stuff that's running through my head, not what moves can I do. It's like, how can I take the intellectual property that people are familiar with, twist it? So it's like, this guy's insane. It's everything I've come to love, and now I genuinely hate it. And in being a real bad guy, and I think that was the conversation that was eventually had, where it's like, okay, it's a bad idea. I'm like, hey, I know this is gonna sting, but I'm not gonna sell another t-shirt. I'm gonna take all merchandise off the market. I'm not gonna put out anything new. I'm not gonna do any more appearances. I'm not gonna do any make-a-wishes. I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'm going to be a bad guy to make you a good guy, so you're a good guy does all that.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, we're kind of in too deep. So it worked out the way it worked out. But bro, I was ready.
I could see the excitement as you're describing this. How good was the theme song?
I recorded it with saxophones instead of trumpets. It's called Fear My Name. I still have it locked away somewhere. If it ever sees the light of day, I want to remix it with trumpets instead of saxophones.